Welcome to eQuips with NuMedia, the show where we explore smarter online strategies for your business.
I'm Rosie, and with me is Scott. Today, we're digging into one of the most effective and often misunderstood tools in digital marketing, retargeting.
If you've ever wondered how those follow-up ads seem to know exactly what your customers were browsing, or how you can use retargeting to increase conversions without overspending, this episode is for you. By the end, you'll know how to build smarter, more effective campaigns that reconnect with audiences who are already interested in your brand.
Let's start with the basics. Retargeting is advertising that reconnects with people who have already interacted with your business. For example, someone visits your website, checks out a few products, and then sees ads for those products on their social media.
Right, and it works by using tracking pixels or audience signals from platforms. It allows you to show ads to people who have visited your site, clicked a product, signed up for a newsletter, or even watched a short video about your business. The big picture concept is the 7 or 8 touch rule. Normally you don't develop a relationship to the point of purchase or trust without that's at least 7 or 8 touches.
What does that mean, 7 or 8 touches? Is that on the website, or is that on social media, or is that a mix of both, or?
It's generally a mix, and it normally works better when it comes naturally. So like some things may come from the website, some things may come from social media, some things may come from an in-person meeting if you're a service-based business or retail walk-in store. It's about the overall user experience, but it can be done through only one channel, but the probability of converting earlier is higher when you have a mix.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 7 or 8 touch rule. It's not a guarantee, it's not a promise. You can have email marketing campaigns in some cases where we've had probably 30, 40, 50 emails sent for our clients on various things, and it might be the 40th email that gets the conversion.
Mm-hmm.
People like consistency.
But not too much consistency, because we talked about how we don't want to flood people with retargeted ads.
Right, which is why like that example that I used with 30 or 40 emails, that's literally over the course of almost 2 years. So you have some form of engagement, maybe you bumped into them at an event, they're like, cool, I really like the idea of that product, but they don't buy in the moment, you don't see them again, and yet they're on your email subscription list.
One of the biggest advantages is that these audiences tend to convert at a higher rate. For instance, someone who looked at a product once is much more likely to buy than someone who has never seen your website. Retargeting helps your brand stay top of mind.
And just to clarify, retargeting usually refers to ads, while remarketing can include email campaigns or text follow-ups. Both can work together effectively. For example, you might show ads to someone who visited your site and then follow up with an email to remind them of an abandoned cart.
Exactly. Think of retargeting as a gentle nudge. It reminds people why they were interested in your brand in the first place, and can even highlight promotions or benefits they may have missed.
So, where do most people actually encounter retargeting? Display ads are probably the most obvious. You've likely seen banners on news sites or blogs advertising a product you recently viewed. Social media is huge too, like Facebook and Instagram showing ads to people who visited your site, or TikTok targeting people who watched your videos.
YouTube is another big example. If someone watched a video about your product or service, you can retarget them with another video ad, or a short clip encouraging them to take action.
Even search and shopping platforms use retargeting. For example, Google Ads can show dynamic product ads for items someone looked at on your website, reminding them to come back and complete purchase.
A lot of people recognize retargeting when they browse a product online and then see it pop up everywhere, or leave items in their cart and get reminders on social media or in search results.
And it's not just for e-commerce. Service businesses can retarget too. For example, someone who visited a law firm website or requested a quote from a contractor might see follow-up ads highlighting testimonials or free consultations.
Yeah, retargeting goes across multiple different fields, multiple different audiences for multiple different times.
Yeah, it's a great concept, and I understand how to use it responsibly, but it also gives me a little bit of that big brother chill up and down my spine, because it's like, okay, I was literally just talking about this 5 minutes ago and suddenly my Facebook feed is flooded with whatever it is, which is cool 90% of the time. But then you have those awkward conversations where there's this thing that you're like totally opposed to, repulses you, and you're like, one mention of whatever the subject matter is, and then it's in your feed, in your face again. And you're like, I never wanted it to begin with. Are they not really listening to me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's talk strategy. Start by building audiences based on behavior. Website visitors, product viewers, cart abandoners, people who opened your lead forms, or even viewers of your videos can all be targeted.
Then create campaigns that match their intent. Cart abandonment ads could highlight urgency or social proof. Sequential ads could first remind someone of the product, then later show benefits or customer reviews to encourage action.
And don't forget creative and copy. Keep messages simple and direct. Remind people of what they already saw. For example, if someone looked at a pair of headphones, you could show an ad emphasizing features they may have missed, or limited time discounts.
Budget and frequency matter too. You don't need a huge budget, but watch frequency so your audience doesn't get tired of seeing the same ad. Rotating creative or using a mix of videos, images, and carousel ads helps keep it fresh.
Finally, track your results. Conversion tracking lets you monitor metrics like cost per action, return on ad spend, and which audiences are performing best. Testing different audience windows, like targeting visitors from the past 7 days versus 30 days, can give you insights into when people are most likely to convert.
Because you already mentioned we need to pay attention to metrics.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what we want our audience to look like, we watch behaviors. We follow those behavior patterns. Patterns change over time. Audiences change over time. So it's not going to be a set and forget system. And I've told people this about ads. Anything that's AI related, it's not just a set and forget. There's going to be change in the market, change in the audience, and you have to adapt to it.
Yeah.
So you can watch literally where followers jump on stuff, and a lot of times it's early on. They get an email message. If you were to send out another message within a week, they'll jump back on. Oh, cool! I remember that from last week. But you do that too many times in a row, and people are like, "Yeah, they send that every week."
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to matter. So learning how to mix it up and how to be relevant in that moment when they're most receptive to it is what type of metric you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. So relevancy, but I would also say transparency in this is the algorithms that we're using, or if you can't fully explain an algorithm because it's a trade secret or whatever, just like being consistent of this is how much of your data we're taking, or this is what you're allowing us based off of the use terms and conditions.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, you definitely need to have that in there. It's difficult, and it's not that algorithms are always proprietary or anything like that, but like I said, they constantly change. So I could tell you, like, okay, so for those customers that express interest, we want to be, prompt and on the spot and send them something right away. For others that are like, you know what, this is not a top priority for me, we drop them to a longer term lead. Some of our automations and workflows are going to look a little bit different, and what is set today may not be the same thing that we have set tomorrow based on their behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So today we broke down what retargeting is, where you're likely to see it, and how businesses can use it to reconnect with audiences who have already shown interest. Whether you're running e-commerce campaigns, service-based ads, or video promotions, the key takeaway is this: retargeting works best when your messaging is relevant, timely, and tailored to the audience behavior.
In our next episode, we'll explore one of the classic debates in marketing, print marketing versus online marketing. We'll break down the strengths and weaknesses of each, how to decide which works best for your business, and how to integrate both for maximum impact. Subscribe now so you don't miss it, and check our show notes for resources from today's episode. Thank you.
Thanks.